Okay. Alright, that's better. But I will change it back to the other mic. There we go. Beauty. I reckon that will be working now, according to my statistics. Hello, Toby Cook. Hello, Unbranded. Thank you for pointing out that you couldn't hear me. I presume it's better now. If it's better now, say turtle. In the absence of turtle, I'm going to assume you can't hear me. 10 in the chat, guys. Thank you for being here. Good start by Richardson. Rogue, right, that's a safe bet because I know those are constantly. I'm constantly in both of those states at the same time. G'day, Rogie. Great start from Richardson. This guy's dangerous. I'm not 100% sure like how close he is to the Test team at the moment. I know he's not like immediately close, but I wouldn't mind seeing him back there one day. G'day, Brandon. I am good, mate. How are you? It is 8:21 a.m. here in the UK. I have actually moved to a slightly different part of the house. I'm in my room today because I didn't want to take up the living room, so my roommate couldn't be in there. Normally he's not up by 8, so Behrendorff into the attack. Another player in good form. Bit too full. Rogers drives it for 4. Probably 4. Maybe not. It is not. What's everyone's predictions today? Are we all kind of thinking the Stars are up against it? Oh, famous last words. It really is famous last words. Yeah, that's true, Rogie. That's a good point. He didn't play a full tournament last year, but I don't know. I can't remember if that was injury or not. Am I right in thinking I'm coming through all laggy at the moment? Doesn't look great. Behrendorff in for his second delivery. Oh, much better ball. Scorchers always decide to bowl. That's a good point. Yeah. Scorchers by 7 or 8 wickets. That would be significant. I would enjoy that. A little laggy, yeah. It seemed to get a little bit better after I said that, I think. There's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. I don't know why I asked. Good shot there by Webster. Abby. What's everyone been up to since the last stream? The last stream only went for an hour. That was kind of a weird experience. I'm not going to lie, I was kind of secretly a bit relieved because I had about 3 hours sleep before that. And it was Sunday, meaning I couldn't get a coffee beforehand. So I was low-key dying. Oh, here we go. Wicket. Behrendorff has gotten Webster. The big thick edge, outside edge to third man. Deep third man. That is what the kids say. Yeah, I'm a Scorchers fan, Luke. Just being from Perth. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't know why they're so dog shit. I mean, I did my season previews, and I thought them and Adelaide seemed like the weakest, but I put Adelaide below Melbourne, then I regretted it later. I think because of the whole Maxwell and Stoinis factor. Oh, is Maxwell injured? Is that why he's not here? So we got Stoinis, Cartwright, Larkin next. Merlot, good vintage. Dawson, Mia, Paris, and Ralph. So the bowling attack's pretty decent. I pretty much overrated the Glenn Maxwell factor, probably. That's why I didn't know them last. But it's early days, they could still avoid it. Stoinis into the crease. Sorry, I am on my phone at the moment. I'm contemplating whether I should share this to my story. I don't know how to YouTube, bro. By the way, I found out I've uploaded 72 videos in 28 days. That's ridiculous. Great call, Luke. I just realised for the first time that was Anthony Hudson. Strange. I do think he's a good caller, yeah. Couple of wickets though. Posting that Dogs video today was not the best timing. Yeah, that's true. But it was mind you, it's their best 22 in 3 years, right? So like he'll still be in it, Bailey Smith. But I suppose it would probably be dominated by other stuff. I don't know. It does make it awkward though if the Bulldogs want to prove to Bailey Smith that this is their place to stay by giving him more time in the midfield. Him doing an ACL is the worst possible thing, I would have thought. If someone could finish below my strikers, yeah. G'day, Mitch. I don't know. Adelaide do have some good players. Their bowling attack's decent. Or has the potential to be decent, I reckon. In my non-expert opinion. Who have Adelaide played? They've played, right? Or am I going crazy? There was a few days there where I just had to tune out of BBL for a second. BBL, yeah. Yeah, I've already got videos up until Sunday uploaded. Because I'm going to London this weekend. And I, won't be around to upload, so I've pre-uploaded them. Oh yeah, Adelaide hasn't played. There was a match abandoned. It's funny though, it looks like his next game will be for the Pies. I know you said you're slightly joking, but have the Pies been linked to him at all? I would have thought, is it the Cats and the Hawks were the main two? Sorry, I'm just going to share this stream on Insta. Down the highway to the Cattery, yeah. Where would you go if you were Bailey Smith? It's a fair question. Geelong? You'd want to go there soon, because they are, whether they like it or not, like a lot of their players are going to retire soon. So he'd be like one of the first guns they'd have to recruit to make that transition smoother. It's all good going there if they've already recruited a bunch of other guns, but when you're the first one there, it could be a bit daunting. It's Hawthorn. Essendon and St Kilda would be two clubs I would imagine would go hard. Mitch says picking up a player just off an injury is risky. That's true. I wonder if that will affect potential trade value too. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, well, oh, here we go. Oh, unlucky. Okay, so yeah. First of all, good slow ball, well read by Rogers, sort of, because he didn't quite get a hold of it. Nearly caught. Great effort by the fieldsman. Would that make the Dogs go into the bottom six? I wouldn't have thought that dramatic. I mean, he didn't have an unreal year this year. It would hurt though. They're going to need him in 3 years. Looking at that team that I made in that video today. Oh, great drive there from Rogers. That's true, Rogie. The Pies. I haven't got up to them yet. I did North as well last night. And I was looking at full forward and I was like, oh my god, I have to put their rookie Finbar Maley. Other than Lucky. That's true, yeah. I would have thought your priority would be a key forward, that's true. Luke, no, I don't follow the NBA really. I know that's a lame answer. That's a lame answer, but I never really got into it. I played 2K6. That's how old I am. I played 2K6. And I want to say 2K like 14 as well for a bit. But that's about it. And I played one, I want to say from like 2003 as well. And I was just the Lakers and Kobe Bryant. So I just had a bit of a Lakers thing. I don't support any team now as such, but if you ask me to be like, start a career mode or whatever they're called, franchise mode or whatever it is, on NBA, I'd probably go Golden State because Steph Curry is fun to play with and he's entertaining. Hi Lily, good to have you. Alright, I need to put this story up. It's taking me forever. I was collecting SSP players like their Pokemon. Got to train them all. That's true. Got Ned Long, really. What is Ned Long? Is he a small forward? If I'm thinking of the right bloke. The Hawthorn one? I know his name. I don't know if I'm conflating him a little with Noah Long, because Noah Long's a small forward, but I thought Ned was as well. Luke McDonald. He's kind of not quite a key position, is he? Or is he just playing as one because North don't have many others? Oh, shot. Sorry, I skipped a few messages there. Gone to any Premier League games over there? No, but I really want to go to an Anfield game. I'm not too far from Liverpool. I went to Man United and Liverpool at Old Trafford in 2022. That was before I moved over here, but I haven't yet. I wanted to come over here and go to a game from like a variety of different leagues. So I wanted to see like Macclesfield Town, their local game. I wanted to, maybe go to a championship game, maybe go to a Wrexham game. I've made big plans for that. As it currently stands, the weather's a bit miserable, so I think I'm going to wait till the weather's a bit better. But I might miss out, so who knows. But Anfield is a bucket list thing. I'm a Liverpool fan. And I think I will watch the test tomorrow, Lily, yeah. The timing's not great for me. I think it starts... it must start at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. for me. But I could watch the last session and potentially like live stream the last session once I figure out what time it's likely to start each day. West Indies beat England home series win. Yeah, true. That's true. I didn't expect that. That's cool. Considering they didn't even make the World Cup. Yes, good point, Rogue. That one also confused me too. I didn't make the connection between Logan. Still a little tired, evidently. Stoinis Middles one. Good little resurgence here between from the Stars. G'day, Niasha. Welcome, mate. Good to see you. That's funny, Mitch. Which West Coast Eagles player do you think would be good at cricket? That's a good question. There's got to be some. It's funny watching sometimes, like AFL players play cricket, and some of them are obviously good because a lot of people grow up playing both sports. I was one who played like footy in the winter and cricket in the summer. However, you do see the occasional AFL player like trying to bowl, and you're like, oh my god, like how are you this amazing athlete and yet you bowl like my nan? That's all about having a good teacher. Teach someone who teaches you how to bowl at the right age. Connolly into the attack, the hero. But yeah, I mean to put this story. That's right, Jordan Clark did, that's right. Yeah, I'm trying to think for the Eagles if there was anyone that came from like a bit of a cricketing background. I don't know if there was. We used to have Adam Carter. Adam Carter was also like one of those players that played for like Australian under-16s or something like that, but he didn't play a lot for the Eagles. Do you think Lance Morris will play first test? I'd expect him to probably not because of the strength of the attack available. Like there's going to be two good bowlers that miss out. It's Cummins, Hazelwood, Stark, Lyon, Morris, and who's the other one? Someone in the chat will help me with that. I was reading it the other day and I was like, oh, you could pick any of them. I played one season of cricket in under 12s and only did it to play Pokemon when other kids were batting in the sheds. Oh man, I used to miss cricket in the morning. That was always my favourite. Way better than footy. Just at that age, I used to be so obsessed with cricket. I was that kid who took it more seriously than anyone else. And I was the captain and my team was terrible. And we'd play against... Like, my team was composed of like a handful of good players and then, you know, some not so talented kids. But then there was an opponent, they were called Colts Cricket Club. And they were all my mates at school. And they were all good at cricket. And they were all arrogant. And I was constantly like the captain of this shit team getting belted by all my mates whenever we played them. And I was the captain, obviously, and I was trying to take it seriously. And I was just like composing. I mean, you're coming up with a batting order several nights before the game started. And I'd just be obsessed with trying to win. And because the rest of my team was more relaxed, I think they just started to hate me. I was reading Steve Waugh's autobiography back then, and I was just trying to be an Australian Test cricket captain. It was a little bit early for that level of seriousness, but that's how I approached it. Demetrius a cricketer, that's true. Nathan Murphy's good point. My team literally only won one game for the whole season. Yeah, Rogie, that was my team, South Bunbury Cricket Club. I don't think that club even exists anymore, but we were the same. Has Bailey Smith played his last game? I don't... Oh, maybe. It is December. He's probably not going to play at all next year. I'd hope not. Hamish McKenzie. I don't even know anything about this guy. So that took me like 15 minutes to put up a story saying, come watch the stream. I am bad at socials, man. I really am. I need to pull my head out. Devon Meadows Cricket Club, shout out. Has sunrise hit there? Yes. Sunrise is about 8 o'clock, and it is 8:40 now. But I went to get a coffee at about 7:30 this morning from the local Greg's, and it was pitch black the entire time. And it's probably about a half-hour round trip, so by the time I got back, 8 o'clock, Sam, that works out. Dude, what's with all the bots in my comments lately? Like, I know bots are everywhere, but they're all over YouTube now, and they always hit in clumps. There's like 3 different bots just saying, hi, nice video. Like, I don't understand. What the hell is that? That's about? What's the weather like up there? Because it's been stinging hot in Melbourne the last few days. Interesting. I thought there was there rain threatening this game? I suppose it'd be hot rain then. You know, that hot rain you get. You know what I mean. The weather here has actually been okay. I honestly think so. We had a bit of a cold period where it was like max of 2 each day, and I was like, oh god, it's here to stay. This is normal. But since then, it's been like 8, 9, and I'm genuinely warm. So yeah, it's like the cold made me appreciate 8 degrees again. But it also hasn't really been raining. Touch wood. Like sometimes I walk out and you can tell it's been raining, but I haven't been rained on in weeks. Touch wood. I saw snow for the first time in my life. I'd seen it in mountains before, but I'd never seen snow fall from the sky until a couple of weeks ago. So that was interesting. I got over it real quick. Real fucking quick. Because I found out it's actually quite hard to walk in snow. I'd never contemplated that. I'm just wearing sneakers and I'm like slipping and sliding a little bit. Oh god. That's gross, Rogie. Hot rain. I'm not sure if you mean golden rain or the other kind. Zuh. Just laughing as I put up that story, and if anyone's clicked that link and joined the stream just in time for me to respond to that comment by Rogie, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Oh yeah, I had put up the wrong thumbnail for this game originally. It still said Renegades and Scorchers. Oh. Dealer's choice. Oh. Yeah. But yeah, touch wood. I actually looked up the amount of rain days that you get in the UK in each month, and I think it was like 14 in December, but 11 in August. August is obviously in summer. December is the start of winter, and there's only slight difference in how much rain you get. Pathetic. I should play an AFL game in England in the snow. Yeah, like that game in Canberra. Yeah, it was Monica, wasn't it? Hawks and GWS, where it started snowing. That'd be interesting. Nice. I saw Mitch's comment saying fair catch that, and it hadn't happened on my screen yet. That was like a triple grab from Eskenazi. Yeah, it took like 5 attempts. Hit pretty well. Oh, 4 attempts. God. Oh well, 3rd wicket down. Relatively happy with the situation of 3 for 38, especially with Rogers gone. He was hitting them well, to be fair. And a wicket there for Mackenzie. Good result. And that was Connolly's first wicket. So there's no big bash during the test, hey. That's maybe I will stream like a evening session each day. Not each day, that's a complete lie. I just mean around the place. G'day EKV8. Welcome. Good to have you. EKV8. Reckon the lads picking Stars games to stream so he doesn't have to do 3-4 lives. Yeah, everyone assumes I'm a Melbourne Stars fan. Nope. I want to keep them short and efficient. Oh, shot. Potentially. It's hard to tell sometimes if they middle them. That looks... Yeah, that's gone well and truly back. That was first ball from Cartwright too. Respect. Yeah. As Sam points out, that's his teammate. Great strike. And it was ballsy. And not in a bad way. Ooh, good comeback there from Connolly. Sharp delivery. Do you think Pakistan is the worst fielding team in the world? That's a good question. I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest. They are a little bit notorious, aren't they? For like drop catches and stuff. Yeah, but maybe. I feel like quality of fielding is always a good barometer for how a team's going. Like, you know, when a team's just electric in the field, it usually permeates to the rest of their game. I presume it's probably just like a reflection of their mentality. It's kind of like in footy when the pressure of a team is really good, like the defensive pressure. Usually they're just like cranking as a team. But it's kind of a chicken-egg situation. As in, who is the better fielder, the chicken or the egg? Do I miss the hot weather? Nah, not really. I mean, I miss summer here. Like, I prefer it to be summer here than winter. I like walking around in shorts. I wear jeans, like, around the house sometimes, and that's not normal for me. I like to wear shorts. I like to go out wearing shorts. I went to the gym in my footy shorts last night, and I actually walked through town wearing footy shorts. So I'm kind of a local now. But I don't necessarily miss it being 30 degrees. 30's fine. I don't miss it being like 32 plus every day. Bunnings used to have this smell to it as well when it's summer because of the heat. And it's not a bad smell. You can just, you know what I mean? You can just smell that it's summer. You can smell the season. Probably only people with a strong sense of smell will relate to that. Because my sister would think I was crazy for saying that, but her husband would agree. Thoughts on Darcy signing on? Can't wait to see him dominate Eagles for another 6 years. Oh, did Darcy sign on? I missed that. G'day, Graz, by the way. That's actually huge for Fremantle. Yeah, right. There you go. That's a huge result. It's actually maybe a video idea I might do, just like a little update about what's happened across the board. Sean Darcy, Bailey Smith. That's all I can think of right now. I'll do some research and figure out just an update for people who are maybe dipped out of footy for a while. I'm just relentlessly trying to keep people involved in footy. No, you will care about your team in 3 years from now. What's that? The next video series? 5 years in the future. I'm desperately clinging to it. Hear the Nepal national team's fielding isn't too crash hot. Well, yeah. You never know. I wouldn't assume. I've never seen Nepal play, actually. Oh, actually, that reminds me of something that when I was younger. They had the World T20 qualifiers in Abu Dhabi. I can't remember which World Cup this would have been. I reckon I would have been around 18, so we're talking like 2011, 2012. And they played every single qualifier for the T20 World Cup at my old home ground, the stadium. And they had countries like Italy, Kenya, Nepal, Well, maybe Nepal wasn't there because I don't remember them, but they had Uganda, and I would go, not every day, but I would try and go most days, and I was the only one watching, and I would order Burger King to the stadium, and the delivery guy would show up and be like, "Where are you?" And I'd be like the only guy in the stands. That's quite weird in hindsight. But you know, by the end of it, I was like sitting with the Ugandan team, like outside on the other side of the rope, and like sitting with all their batsmen waiting to go on, and just chatting. They're probably like, "Why the hell is this white kid here?" That was fun though. Oh, it's appalling. God. Their nickname should be the Slippery Nipples. Preseason fixture, that's a good point. I can include that in a little summary video. Can you catch the ball? Oh, nice, Mitchie. That took me a second. Who is the former big Pakistani captain? Inzamam Ul-Haq, sorry. Inzamam Ul-Haq. He was big physically. Might have been someone in between that though. How do you think Uganda will go in the T20 World Cup? Let's have a look at this T20 World Cup. Are Uganda in it? Are they seriously in it? Surely not. I'm excited for this T20 World Cup. Purely because it's so weird. Not weird, but... Oh, you're right. Yeah. Fuck. Namibia and Uganda. That's sick. So I'm excited for that element of it. I wonder... Yeah, the format's going to be groups as well. Like, it's not going to... I could be wrong, but I don't think there's going to be, like, that pre-group where all the qualifiers fight each other. Fight. God. Battle to the death. I think, is it just Group 1 and Group 2? Is it just 2 groups? That can't be right, is it? Doesn't say. Uganda would be sick to watch the World Cup, purely because I've never seen them there before. Is Nepal in it? Yes, Nepal's in it. Oman, wow. A Middle Eastern country. I suppose the UAE's been there before. Got him, Stoin dog. Pork Stoin. They should scrap pre-season fixture and put an extra round. No one cares about pre-season matches. I kind of like them. You know what, actually, for content purposes, I like it. I reckon I get more views in a pre-season game. Or, like, if I summarise what happened, than if I did the same thing for, like, round 6. There you go, Superhero Rise. He says, if there was 24 teams, Zimbabwe... Wow, so Zimbabwe didn't make it. Man, they have fallen. UAE, Jersey. Wow, Jersey. And Kenya would have made it. Yeah, you'd think Zimbabwe and Kenya would have made it instead of, you know, Papua New Guinea. But I suppose they're not all qualifying against each other. There's like an African qualifier, there's an Asia qualifier. But still, Uganda getting there and Zimbabwe did not. That's what it's telling me. It's cool to see the states in it as well. So yeah, Uganda, USA, Nepal, Oman, Papua New Guinea. That'd be most of those countries' first World Cup. Canada's back in the mix too, that's nice. It'd be funny if Russia made the cricket world. That would be weird. They do have a team, don't they? I think they exist. Pre-season games are also really good to give some kids a go and check out the draftees. That's a good point, yeah. And experiment with different roles and stuff like that. Scotland do play cricket loot, yeah. They've been in several World Cups. They were certainly there in 07. Not sure about 03. But yeah, they've been in World Cups. I played against their under-16s team. North Korea should try out for the Cricket World Cup. That would be interesting. That would be very, very interesting. Larkin's on strike. I've sort of lost track of what's happening here. Oh, got him! Another double touch. 5 for 49. They're in serious trouble now. As Mitch points out, the Stars are cooked. Much like a restaurant in the solar system. God, that is bad comedy. I really let myself go sometimes. Supreme Leader takes a hat-trick in one ball. That would be... I would see that would be like true of the Saudi team as well. An honorary hat-trick. Imagine being a Stars member. Are they members? I suppose they must be, right? I've never really thought about members for BBL. What are the reasons for less attendance in BBL once it used to be top 10? Good question. I don't really know. I mean, I think it's a pretty cool league. It's the most popular... Well, actually, that's a good question. Is it the most popular... Yeah, it is. It is the most popular domestic league in what's the word? What am I trying to say here? Domestic cricket league here. Like, it's more popular than Marsh Cup or Sheffield Shield. Not among cricket purists, but if we're talking about attendances, yeah, well and truly. As for why people have lost interest, I don't know. I'm not really too sure why that would be the case. Like, there hasn't been any obvious replacements. Yeah. I'm interested to see other people's thoughts on that. Because it's still like a summer thing, right? It's not like it's not like there's other sports that people are trending towards necessarily. Having a few laggy issues with my KO. Zimbabwe is not as good as they once were as the West Indies. Yeah, that's true. Like, I remember when I first started watching cricket, Zimbabwe, in the days of like Heath Streak to Tender Taibu, the Flower Brothers, like they were still playing when I started watching, and they were decent. Like they could hold their own against Australia. I don't think I've ever seen them lose to Australia. Beat Australia, but they would hold their own. Yeah, and much like the West Indies, since then they've fallen off. I only watch international cricket and BBL. I also watch the Big Bash. Nice. Have I ever watched the 100? No, I haven't actually. Yeah, obviously, it's a summer sport, obviously, and when I came over here, I wanted to. We talked about it several times, like going to see like a couple of London teams when I was down there, but it just never happened, and I was traveling a lot. And when I wasn't traveling, I was working hard on True Footy, so. But seriously, are there any diehard fans for the BBL? Plenty of fans just go, yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I think that's probably what's meant that the content for BBL hasn't clicked in the way I'd hoped. Because the views are there, people are watching highlights, but they don't care that much about their team. I think that's what's holding it back a little bit. But still, we're just having a bit of a BBL vibe this summer. Maybe I'll make a bit of content around this test series, because that should probably do well. How I do that is going to be interesting, but maybe a live stream. Sport's not as keen for the test tomorrow. Yeah, that would be good. That'd be good. What am I doing tomorrow? I've got a call with someone in the morning. Yeah, I'll watch it. But again, I'll get up and watch the last session. I thought 8 games was perfect, made every game meaningful, and there was a short season during the summer holidays. Also, with less games, there was a bit, yeah. Good point, Luke. Yeah, well said. 8 games does make it, each game seem more meaningful. Well, they have shortened the season this year. I mean, yeah, I've actually only been to one BBL game, and that was last year. And I reckon, I could be wrong, but I think it was Perth in the Brisbane Heat. See, I don't even remember. And I reckon I had a great time. Like, it was actually a really good game. I want to say we chased down 200 plus. It wasn't the final, obviously. It was a different game. Top Super Rosa says top 10 cricket leagues: IPL, then BBL, then PSL, then CPL, then the 100, then the IPL. Have you put IPL twice? LPL. Not sure what that one is. ILT 20. Is that the UAE one? No, probably not. MLC, BPL. I only know what half of those stand for. I think there's more T20 leagues and the big names are choosing to play overseas. Do you think that's what it is? Because I don't know. I mean that's probably true, but I don't know if that's what's reducing popularity. I kind of like the whole unearthing. I mean, that's just my opinion anyway, but I like the unearthing of domestic players for a start, but would the casual BBL attender really care if Chris Gale is playing? I mean, most people probably care, but there'll be a lot of people that just go see the Scorchers. I don't know. Doesn't mean your point is not right, though. Mr. Cricket just joined up the Scorchers. How about that? Oh, just joined up the Scorchers. That took me a second. I was like, just joined up the Scorchers. I was like, did you just become a member? Welcome, mate. Yeah, Eskenazi catch was funny. 4 grabs it took. Give me 1 second. What I'm going to do is plug in my laptop, because I got this laptop. I got 2 laptops going at the moment. Oh, my back. I'm an old man. Alright, let's work through these messages. Rogie didn't know there was a test tomorrow. Wow. I knew there was a test. I have forgotten where it is, though. Oh, I've been doing deadlifts and my back hurts. What have I missed? Should Adelaide and Perth have 2 big bash teams? I prefer not. Purely because it probably makes it harder for Perth to succeed. Mind you, we've got a lot of players that have left Perth anyway, playing in other states. A second Perth team would be interesting though. LPL's Lanka Premier League. There we go. ILT is from USA. Thank you. I knew I recognised that one. BPL's Bangladesh. I knew that one. Thanks, mate. Drewzy says, where's the beers? It's 9 o'clock, mate. 9 a.m. I considered doing grand final day beers at like 5 a.m, but it turns out when it actually came push came to shove, I was like, no, that's disgusting. That office job really giving you some back pain. Yeah, the office job that I never got. Yeah, no, I've been deadlifting again, and sore. I feel like the NBA, EPO, and even NFL are growing with the younger generation over cricket more than ever during the summer. That's an interesting observation. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not part of the younger generation anymore. But yeah, obviously there is NBA, EPL. There's that presence, particularly among the younger generation. I have noticed that, generally speaking, the younger generation of Australians are getting a little bit more Americanized. Certainly with the TV they watch, but like the sports, NBA in particular, that they follow. Like, you can tell when somebody follows the NBA in Australia, they talk a little different, like in terms of their vocabulary, their pronunciation sometimes, whether they say defense or defense. Little example there. And the music they listen to. I often find that those who watch NBA and are into it, I'm generalizing massively, but anecdotally I feel like they're also likely to be into rap music and stuff like that. It's interesting to see it permeate a little bit. I reckon it's something else giving him back pain. So it was the guy. Oh, I wish, Rogie. No, I don't really wish at all. No, I'm just in my grind era at the moment. I'm making 2 or 3 videos a day and going to the gym literally every day. I live the same day over and over again, but I like it. And I've lost weight. I'm down to like 84 kilos now. I was 89 in August. I'm not really intentionally trying to lose weight. I was when I was 89 kilos. I was like, that's too fat. Then I lost weight pretty quickly then, but now I'm eating well, training every day. Yeah. Back pain from deadlifts? You need a personalized program. That's true. Shout out Drewzy's Athlete Academy. It should be a link in the description of this video and every other video. Ooh, wide full toss. That being said, this is the normal back pain. Oh, here we go. Run out chance. Nah, bad throw. No, I hadn't deadlifted for like 4 weeks because I actually had unrelated back pain from sleeping badly. I discovered I have a bad habit of like twisting my spine when I sleep. So I didn't deadlift until yesterday and or the day before. And it's sore. Don't think Adelaide is deep enough to have a second team. If I made it a Crows versus support thing and got rid of the strikers, that would be neat. Yeah, imagine that, a Crows versus Power in the BBL. I don't know. Oh, UAE, sorry. Superhero Rises, thank you. Yeah, imagine having like I'm already sick of Fremantle fans. Generally, just creating another offshoot where there's going to be like 50% of Perth being like pugnacious Fremantle fans. Like, yeah, spare me. Pugnacious indeed. Which loosely translates to like a pug. Who bowled better, John Howard or Joel Selwood? Ooh, probably Joel Selwood. Oh, shot. He's done a ramp shot. Oh my god. It's funny with cricket sometimes. You think he's hit the ball well and then it goes straight up and straight down. 6 for 66. Merlot did not age like a fine wine. Where are we up to? Haven't watched the NBA since that guy did his knee back. Oh god, I don't even want to know. Yeah, I can't watch that shit. Those ACLs and stuff. Your grinder era. The accusations. What is my BMI? How do you work out your BMI? I think I'll do it right now. I'll probably just be whatever normal is. I'm 30 years old. I nearly said 29. God. Height is about 190 and my weight is 84 now. So I'm 23.3 is my, and I'm in normal BMI. Normal weight is up to 89.9 kilos. So I'm a long way to go before I get too big. Freo fans are pugnacious as a result of West Coast fans being pigs. No, it's not. I don't even know what that word means. Let's Google what pugnacious means. Eager or quick to argue, quarrel or fight. Okay, it's not quite what I thought it meant, but it works. Pugnacious. I remember this friend I had at uni, he just, if he thought someone was a bit of a dickhead, he'd just call them dogmatic. And I just didn't know what it meant. It wasn't quite right. Oh yeah, she's a bit dogmatic. I think he was loosely thinking like, yeah, she's a bit of a dog. So she's dogmatic. Ruff. Have you got your passport sorted yet or any plans to travel the UK? No, I did travel the UK last week. No, a month ago. Lose track of time. I did like Leeds and York and I did Newcastle. That was cool. And I'm going to London this weekend. But no, the passport thing is such a pain. It really is a pain to try and sort out. So, and I'm in no rush. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I can't really afford to at the moment. American sports work really well for the Australian time zone too. Yeah, because they're like on in the morning usually, like NBA, aren't they? Should Tasmania get a league team? You say league team. What sport? Or are you saying a league team? That'd be interesting. I don't know what soccer's like there. Drewzy kind of looks like Richardson. I kind of see what you mean, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe kind of. Superhero Rises. Can you name any YouTuber who makes video on cricket and BBL? I don't know if there's any like specific BBL YouTubers. That would be too niche, right? I think a lot of people just dip in like I am at the moment. Cricket in general. Oh, this is the grade cricketer is the one I'm aware of, but I'm not really subscribed to any other cricket channels. Like Twisty comes to mind, but he's a gamer primarily. Good thing about Geelong, 90% of people here go for the Cats, so I don't need to hate anyone. True. Rogie. That's funny. That's the way we like it. Yeah. People don't hate Fremantle like outside of WA because they're harmless. They're just like a little kitty cat. And they're like, you made the finals. That's so sweet. Back to the bottom of the ladder you go. Not like us. Leeds, York, and Newcastle. I went with a friend and we just kind of chilled. It wasn't a very story-generating trip. As for London, I am going down for Dylan's girlfriend's birthday, so that should get pretty loose. Couple of daiquiris, I reckon. It'll be good fun. Catch up with Dylan. Then I'm back Monday. At the moment, I'm doing 3 videos a day to make sure I have videos coming out while I'm gone. Stars are always horrible when they played cricket. Yes. But when they're not playing cricket, they're just fine. AJ Tracy into the attack for second over. Mitchie reckons I look like Dorcius. I need to Google him again. I feel like somebody told me Sean Abbott the other day, but I don't have a mustache anymore. So maybe... I think the only similarity to Dorcius would be the mustache, which I no longer have. I don't know. I get a few random ones. I remember getting George Hewitt. Maybe a little bit when I kind of had that stubble and haircut, which I did at the time. Somebody said that to me. Not a lot. To get Nick Dacos from us, you're going to have to offer multiple pick ones, and even then I'd say no. Yeah. Yeah, I don't particularly want Nick Dacos anyway. Not because he's not good enough, obviously. But, it's just... What do I mean by that? I just wouldn't trade, like, several picks to get him. Oh, well done, Drewzy. When Drewzy said Stephen Hill, then I thought he was talking about people he looked like. I was just like, I don't know if I see it. Oh, drop catch. Oh, man. Is it slippery out there? Because no one's catching well. He's wiping his hands a little bit. That could be unrelated. That was a very simple catch. I'm thinking it's just a bit slippery out there. Because, yeah, like I said, 3 drops. Or 2 fumbles and a drop. Ah, that's annoying. Probably won't matter, but it's still annoying. There are 77 off 77 balls, as I'm currently watching this. So far, so good. What's their bowling attack like? Their bowling attack's not bad, actually. Hayden Young's going to be a gun in midfield this year. Lock him in for Supercoach. Yeah. I've never played Supercoach in my life. Young going to be like Dawson. Yeah, interesting comparison. That's it. By the way, if you chuck a like on the stream while there's 22 of you here, guys, that would be great. Help boost my numbers. I got rookie numbers. Man, so far, YouTube performance-wise, I have already beaten June in December. I track all my monthly stats because I'm a nerd. But I've like well and truly beaten June, and it's only been 10 days. 12 days. Next year, do you think North Melbourne will trade first round draft pick? Yeah, I think they're in a position to trade. I don't think. They're probably going to have pick 1 or 2, to be honest. So, assuming it's like let's call it a top 3 pick, you'd only trade that for like a real ready to go gun, of which there are probably not going to be any obvious ones unless there's like a Jamara, Ben King, but then are they going to go play for North? Doesn't seem likely, respectfully. Oh! Thank you for those lyrics and then leaving, Drewzy. Shout out, Drews. He's a bit of an unwell man at the moment. He got tiki-itis. Oh, thanks, Mason. Cheers, mate. What kind of content do you do? Bailey Smith to North Melbourne. Yeah, I mean... Hey, finally a wicket there. Inglis, that is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Oh, God, I haven't seen it yet. What's happened here? Has he... I think I'm... What has Inglis done here? You've thrown me. Starcevich signed until 25. Interesting. Oh, is that... What, did that just happen? Or do you mean that's when he's out of contract? Because I thought he was out of contract in 24, but a 1-year extension seems odd. Stick it to the maniosis. That is quality, Kieran. Kieran? Stick it to the maniosis. Oh, you haven't heard of it? It's hell. Hugo Hagen would only play for North Melbourne if he gets 2 million. Yeah, fair point, Lily. I agree with that. At the current position they're in. Inglis couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat, even to his time. What did Inglis do? Am I that far behind? Mackenzie. Clean bowled Mia. That was a good delivery too. Kyron. Kyron. Sorry. Kieran. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you. I'm waiting for something that Inglis has done. I don't know if I've missed it. Starcevic has signed... Oh, he just signed a 1-year extension. Does that make him a free agent at the end of that? That actually kind of works. For the Eagles. Put it this way, I know the Eagles are chasing him. So maybe that's actually a better result for us. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think Starcevic would leave. Like his old man. Is his uncle? Uncle or old man? I think it's his uncle. Thank you, Andrew, for clarifying that I missed it. I figured I had. What did he do? He missed the stumps. Ah, yeah, I remember seeing that. Thank you. I didn't process it as being that bad, but yeah. Hat-trick ball. 8 for 79. Wow, the Stars really are a big fart in a jar, aren't they? Where St Kilda is right now can lure Ben King, Hugo Hagen, or Bailey Smith. Yeah, I think they're in a position where it's not a bad place to go. You know, finals football, and as much as Ross Lyon can be polarizing, you know, he's a proven coach who can make a team competitive and get into finals. And I do think actually St Kilda are at a point now where maybe they don't go for absolute top A grade players, but maybe they go for like good players like Sydney historically did, and just improve their team that way. Does that make sense? But I don't see a reason for them to struggle to attract talent, whereas no one's going to go to North right now. Not yet. Give it 2 years, maybe. Karen says, I remember going to one of the first T20 matches at Adelaide Oval when it was still statesides. Oh, wow. Watched the Redbacks and play and did a live cross for Nova radio station with my Bono impression. Wow. Bono impression. Wow. That's sick. Yeah, I remember those days. I think Chris Gale did play for WA, but I can't remember if it was T20 or actually the 50 over comp. Saints will end up with Lobie, and he'll retire us, and he'll be a second-tier journeyman. Who's Lobie up to these days? Jamara, then King, then McDonald, you reckon, Rogie? Oh, Lob. Thank you. Because there used to be a Lobie, obviously. That's where my brain went. First of all, I answer Rogie. Jamara, then King, then... Yeah, maybe. I feel like King probably suits us better. Probably contrasts Oscar Allen a bit better. And we're assuming then that I don't have to worry about King leaving, right? Like, let's assume they're on a 6-year contract or something like that. I'd probably go King, then Jamara, then McDonald, but I'd be stoked with any of them. Oh, another wicket. This is carnage. Paris has chopped it onto his stumps. This has been one-sided so far. If Melbourne Stars suck, chuck a like on the stream. Please. So, Saints will end up with Lob and it'll be a second... Okay, I get it now. Do they need a Lob? Not massively. I figured it was a joke though. Is Harry Mackay the most overrated forward? I don't know if I'd describe him as overrated, because I do think there's a large amount of people out there who are like anti-Mackay now. I actually almost think he's swung to being underrated again. But he won a Coleman. I think results speak for themselves. I think he's a good player. He just... hasn't come on since that Coleman. Yeah, same. Pies getting any one of those players injected into my veins. I did read somewhere Ben King might sign an extension with Gold Coast. Stars run rate is going to be horrendous, yes. Yes, that it is. It's a good result for us. I would love to have known how that Renegades game would have turned out had they played out on that horrendous pitch. Yeah, how are the Melbourne Stars so bad? I mean, it doesn't help that Harry Brooks. Like, you take a punt on one of the biggest names available and he doesn't play for you, that is crushing, but to be fair, like, they should still be better than they are. It's all between the ears for Mackay, says Yasha. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, some of his kicking was just horrendous this year, but that's all mental. I want the Crows to trade for Goat already or Barnett. Hey, keep your grubby mitts off my Barnett. Goat would have been a good one, though. Mec de November says... Melbourne. What does that mean? Shot. 6. He's shot by Dawson. There's part of me that would be pretty content with Ben King staying at the Suns. Got a soft spot for them, and they need all the. I agreed. I know where you're going with that. Yeah. I would hope he stays as well. It would be nice to see. I'm not one of those people that thinks like they should give up on the Gold Coast and move into Tassie and wants to complain about the experiment. I want the expansion to work. I think it would be healthy for the league if it works. So I'm pro Gold Coast. As I am pro GWS, and I will be pro Tasmania. Within reason, until they start flogging us. Who'll be the first coach to get sacked next year? That's a good question. Who's in the firing line? You'd say Beveridge. Nix is probably going to be safe, although there was some expectation there, so not entirely safe. But again, contract comes into it, and I don't know his contract. I'm going through the teams alphabetically. Voss will be fine. Fagan will be fine. McRae's going to be fine. Brad Scott is not completely safe, although I think he will survive. Like, I can't see any immediate reason to think he will get sacked next year. They'd have to really bottle it. Longmuir, I still think Fremantle can be afforded to be patient. So it's possible if they really bottle it again, but again, with such a young side, maybe not. Mitch Golding, don't you dare try and offer me Rory Laird for Barnett. No, thank you. Goodwin is not completely out of the realm of possibility, but it would be pretty harsh considering they have made top 4 2 years in a row. 3 years in a row. Lily's saying Longmire. Too entrenched, I think. Simo's still got the contract. Sure, he's worth mentioning, for sure. I was working my way there. But I'd be surprised if he's one of the first coaches sacked. Like, I think maybe end of 24 if we have a bad year. But I think expectations have shifted. And if we don't get walloped like we did, which we should be able to achieve, right? If we don't have any 100-point losses, then we should be safe. I'm trying to think of anyone else. Lions probably safe. Uze will be safe, obviously. Hinkley should be fine. Yeah, I don't see any real obvious ones. Kingsley's fine. Hardwick, obviously. Sam Mitchell, entrenched. good when if he gets caught on a bender. I just kind of process that like properly. What kind of rebrand would you give him, Rogie? The Gold Coast Suns. Well, that's right. I forgot about that whole Hardwick thing. 9 for 88. There is 25 balls left in this innings. Getting to 100 should probably be their short-term priority. Bevo will be sweating this year. Yeah, so to answer the question decisively, I'd say the ones that start with the most pressure are probably Bevo. To some extent, Simo's up there. Again, the contract works in his favour. If he was in a contract year, I'd say... Well, regardless. So if Simo was out of contract at the end of 24, I still wouldn't see any reason to sack him in like round 10. You know what I mean? Just like wait for the year. I don't really see the benefit of getting a caretaker coach in for half a season. Like, what is actually the point of that? Unless things get really bad. I suppose there is the threshold at which point it's like, yeah, we do need an immediate change. I suppose that is true. The worst AFL coach, Eagles. As in, you think Simo is the worst coach, or you are asking for our worst coach? Who was the Eagles' worst coach? Ken Judge, in more modern times, had an unsuccessful period. But again, he was in the middle of a list transition, so I don't know how to assess that. Get Bevo and Tom Morris in a cage match. Oh my god, he would eat Tom Morris alive, man. Do it after the Dogs lose. That would be very one-sided. Bevo needs the stash back so he starts abusing people. Yeah, he did have a pretty thick, juicy stash. Bevo would be sweating this year. I wouldn't want to interview him. Yeah, God no. Richardson's got 2 for 18. Another dot ball there. Wow, Lily would go for a full rebound. Change them into the Sharks. Yeah, I do remember thinking they would be the Sharks. It is weird that we don't have a Sharks. Suns is not bad, though. Like Phoenix Suns. Chopper Tash, yeah. That was cool. It kind of suited him. He's just an intense-looking guy in general. Besides North Melbourne and West Coast, who do you think could get the spoon? It's tough. I think finding that the rest of the teams in the bottom 4 is tough. I think I had Richmond as my next one. Other than that, it would just be like a team falling apart, which does happen. Teams just fall apart when you, like... I could see Geelong potentially falling apart, but it's just so un-Geelong that I wouldn't bet on it. Freo should have been Sharks. Yeah. Yeah, Fremantle Sharks would have been a good name. Just make the Suns not look like an eyesore. That bright red and yellow is brighter than Discord light mode. I don't mind it too much, but I wouldn't say they have a good jumper, I suppose. Or it didn't quite time it. Gets a single. Bulldogs bottom 4 is your call, Lily. Wow. I suppose with Smith out, that weakens them a little. I suppose Harms being there now actually looks like a little bit more of a sensible decision. The Tasmanian wild birthing routes. Yeah. WBRs. Tasmanian shark. Surely they'll be the Devils. Oh, that's already kind of established, isn't it? Didn't they already say that they're going to get their name shit Devils? Fremantle's original name was going to be the Vikings. Was it actually? Chris Chris Scott's sunburn, you reckon? And maybe. I wonder how much longer Chris Scott wants to coach the Cats. He's been there a long time now. Same thing with Longmire, I guess. 9 for 90. 3 overs left. 110 is probably like the best they can hope for. Hoping Port missed the 8 only because it'll be funny after signing him, then immediately going out in straight sets, then to miss finals. Yeah, I know what you mean, Rogie. And then in a contract here, they'll come top 4, they'll sign him, and then he'll go out straight sets again. That does seem to be the flow. Adrian reckons the Vikings would have been better. Probably. Yeah, because just don't make them purple. That's what I would do. Aaron Hardy coming on. The Sack Hinkley thread on Big Footy with Prime Entertainment. Yeah, it's amazing how much anti-Hinkley sentiment there is from Port fans. Like, he's arguably the most hated coach from within, and yet he's actually been a pretty successful coach considering the average AFL coach career. The hairless cat. Chris Scott should be first coach for Tassie. Not a bad shout. Be interesting to see what kind of coach they go for. Guy McKenna was the first Suns one, and then Kevin Sheedy. So they could go for a new one, or they could go for an experienced one. Tasmanian Dolphins. Rogie says the purple is sick. Yeah. Sick to my stomach. Burn. What even is a docker other than an intense sword fight between two? Oh my god. Someone that works on the dock, quite literally. Instead we are the wankers that carry the anchors. Yeah, it's true. Nah, I'm just kidding. Although it is true. Choco is better than boring Ken Hinkley. Yeah, it could be someone like Choco. Tasmania being green and gold, I think is a safe bet, Lily, yeah. Wide and full delivery there from Hardy. It worked, though. Megalodons. That's a great name, Lily. Tasmanian Megalodons. Oh, we got to go down to Hobart this weekend, playing away to the Megalodons. The Dutch did cruise around the west of Australia pre-British colony. That's true. Yeah. Dirk Hartog sends his regards. AFL Times says up the Scorchers. Yeah, playing well, mate. Nah, we can't call Tasmania that, rogue right. We've already got Fremantle. Colby. That regal purple. Honestly, I think Fremantle's rebrand in like 2011, I want to say, was actually a really good move. Like the new logo just made him look a little bit more slick and real. Whereas I think they stuck out like a little bit, like their branding stuck out too much. And it didn't help that they were unsuccessful. So I think that brand was associated with a bit of a Mickey Mouse team. Does that make sense? This was also my perception as a kid, to be fair. But I feel like the old Fremantle signifies real mediocrity. And I think since then, that rebrand and the way they've been governed generally has been pretty damn good. And to be fair, they made the grand final after that. And had, excuse me, had a much more successful period. Obviously, then they went into a mega rebuild. But I think Fremantle is a fairly savvy organisation on the whole. I think, you know, you take away all those players bailing on them and maybe some poor recruiting decisions, but other than that. Yeah, cartoonish is probably a good word for it, Karen. Freo's retro colours were iconic. They were iconic, absolutely, but what they symbolised wasn't an impressive brand. But I get what you mean. When Darwin comes to the AFL, they can be called the Darwin Crocodiles. Maybe. Doesn't really, what's the word, flow off the tongue, so to speak. Gross image. Tasmanian yachts. We're finding the yachts. Just a random noun. Random object. I like that. Crocs versus Devils match. That would be interesting. Oof, has he hit that well? Yeah. Dawson's... Oh no, he didn't. Man, I don't know what happened there. I thought he middled that, and then the camera sort of went towards the boundary. I wouldn't mind if they brought back the anchor on the jumper, though, a bit more unique than chevrons. Yeah, I like the Fremantle thing because I think it's like symbolic of South Fremantle, which they kind of represent, if that makes sense. Like South and East Fremantle, it's kind of considered like almost a merging of those two brands as football clubs, although it was really just symbolism. Avraj says, hey man, are you going to the test tomorrow? I am not going to the test. I am in England. But I'll watch probably the evening session and beyond. The Canberra Politicians would arguably be the worst football team name I've ever heard, Lily. Sorry. The Alice Springs broken windows. Oh my god. Imagine a team called the Politicians, though. They just wear, like, suits to the game. That's actually quite funny. Newcastle meth heads. I don't know too much about Newcastle. I've met a few Newcastleians, as in the Australian version, this summer. Wollongong as well. Stars get to the 100. Thanks mostly to Dawson. I think he's equal top scorer with Rogers. When is Darwin in the AFL? I think a long time yet. What's happened with this shot? Mistimed. Should get a single. 9 for 102 or 101? I've heard ScoMo has a mean tackle. Gross. I wonder what you mean by tackle. Rogie says only if it's a child. My god. This will be Ty's final delivery. We got one over after this and then a little innings break. Newcastle Falcons. We do need some Falcons. Yeah, there's a few names out there that are still up for grabs, like generic ones like Falcons, even Kings. That's a little bit NBA-y. I like how in the IPL there was like Kings 11 and then there was the Super Kings. And it was just like, yeah, we see that you're the Kings, but we're Super Kings. It seems like the most like Indian thing ever. Just to one-up them. I'm waiting for another franchise to be called the Super Ultimate Kings. Gold Coast Lifeguards. Yeah, maybe. Scorchers have 5 titles. Oh yeah. That's nice. Sixers have 3. And Renegades have 1. Renegades were a bit late to the party, it seems. Like, I feel like they were the worst team. This Renegades and the Thunder, I feel like, were the original worst teams. I could be wrong. Dingo is not a bad shout. Seems a bit of a bogany kind of name, though. I don't know why. All Outs. Royals is a good one, Nyasha. Royals, Falcons. Well, yeah, we're obviously going off like the waffle teams now. The Thunder. But those are all names up for grabs still. Wollongong Roosters could work, but like the only thing with Roosters is just that it seems like the NRL. With pick one of the AFL draft, the Canberra Politicians select ScoMo, a lockdown defender who can hold down multiple jobs. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to refill this bottle of water. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. More football team names. And then we're getting Star Wars quotes out. Yeah, I forgot about you guys. Bumblebee wife beaters, my goodness. Alright, I'm just going to have a quick look at the stats from that innings. Who are the best bowlers? Melbourne Stars really are a big fart, aren't they? Bunbury Bums. Hey, I'm from Bunbury. I did call it Bunbury, B-U-M, for a while as a kid. Before I moved there, then I learned. Darwin Jellyfish. Oh. Randomly my KO skipped back. Alright, so we had Jai Richardson 2 for 20. Nice. This is only our second game, isn't it? So he didn't bowl in the first game, so yeah. Berendorf 3 for 28, decent. Connolly 1 for 11, nice. Hamish McKenzie was good, 2 for 12. He bowled well and was on a hat-trick. Ty bowled pretty well. And Hardy bowled 1.1 overs, that's right. Got the final wicket of Ralph. Harris Ralph. I think of a little chihuahua. The New York Towers. What is the USA T20 League? What are they called? Okay, MI New York. Okay, they're all Indians. Indian like ownership, I presume. Like the Knight Riders group, the Super Kings. MI, I presume, is Mumbai Indians. Oh, good on them for trying to grow a US league, though. It's cool. 19 game season over 2.5 weeks. Wow, that is a short league. Texas Super Kings, LA Knight Riders, Seattle Orcas. Interesting. San Francisco Unicorns and Washington Freedom. That's kind of cool. Is there a song, that George Michael song? Freedom, I won't let you down. Will not give you up. Have some faith in the sound. That thing that I've got. I like George Michael. Major League Cricket. Kind of cool. Good evening, Pookie Bear. What? Gawler sperm whales is probably a little graphic. Gawler. 4 of them are IPL ownership. There you go. The London Knives. One is linked to New South Wales and one is linked to Vic. Oh, there you go, Max. I didn't know that. What is going on? Which ones? Well, you can tell which ones are the Indian ownership. MI New York, I presume. Texas Super Kings, Knight Riders. As for the Orcas, Unicorns, and Washington, I'm not sure which one is which. Oh, Rogie. You shouldn't have. They recruit twins. What other cricket twins are there? I mean, there's the War Brothers. Any other cricketing twins? What footballing twins go in name? There's Mackay. Oh my god, there's been more. Why am I even thinking that? Oh, the Kings. The Kings and Mackay's. The Wakelands. Who else? Imagine them playing for the same team. Luckily, all of those play for different teams. You can tell the difference between Ben and Max. And somewhat the Mackays, but it's hard. It's a little bit hard. Hey, Jordan Johnson's in the chat. Welcome, mate. Good to see you. Oh, there's no Mackay twins. Ah, the Davies. Good call, Lily. It's just Barry Mackay. I thought so until I saw their podcast, but then again, it could be deepfake. Marsh. Who are the Marsh twins? Sometimes my brain just fails me. Who are the Marsh twins? Scott Brothers. Yeah, we'll pay that. Yeah. And when I say I'll pay that, I mean that is 100% correct, so I have to pay it. Sorry, yes, the Scott Brothers, of course. What are the twins? I remember thinking Nick Rewald and Adam McPhee looked like twins. And they played on each other once, and I was like, oh my god. And they do look a bit alike, but they're not that similar. Ablets. Are the Ablets twins? Nathan Ablett? They're not twins, are they? Patrick says, is there anyone else's interest in cricket waned since the sandpaper? Interesting. No, I think mine waned a little bit before that. I'm sort of back into it now. Any of the Rioli's twins? No, I don't think so. There you go, Max. Yeah, Sean is a fair bit older than Mitch. There we go. Sorry, Jordan. Yeah, no, cricket twins. So just cricket twins and footy twins. But yeah, the Marshes aren't twins. Yeah, Sean's like 36 or something. The random punt. And Mitch is a couple of years older than me. He's 32, I think. That's all good, Jordan. That sandpaper stuff was so blown out of proportion. I mean, it wasn't good, but we turned it into national news. Well, not national news, but it's always going to be national news if somebody gets suspended for a series for doing that. But like, ball tampering is that common. What are the twins? What are the twins we got? Yeah, the Wakeland one always threw me. It was Shane Wakeland and Darryl Wakeland. Let me Google it. That'd be kind of cheating, but... Michael and Martin? Frederick, are they twins? They look quite different, but that obviously doesn't mean anything. I thought Martin was older. Found a little blog post about twins in the AFL. Camprioli, good point, Rogie. I'll kind of count that, yep. Thoughts on the West Australian having read in the paper every day? Seems to be a news story all the time. Yeah, it's getting a little bit old, hey. It's gotten cringy, but they're just trying to milk a story in the same way that I kind of would. But, you know, I stopped the highly read stuff a while ago. But I milked it for a few days. But yeah, like pictures of him at training and stuff, it's a little bit weird. But people do want to see it. But yeah, it is blown out of proportion. Like, we need to try and keep this guy like any other 18-year-old prospect on our list. Was the sandpaper cheating scandal on the news in America? Was it really? Bro, I remember like Shahid Afridi like biting the ball once to try and rough it up. And he just got like a series ban. Like, I'm sure England's been done for ball tampering before. Don't get me wrong, it was a stupid thing to do. But, and I wouldn't have done it, but, yeah. Can I count when only one twin has played in the AFL because John Noble is an identical twin? There you go. I think it's a separate category, but still somewhat interesting trivia. Nick Naitanui also has a twin brother that is like 6 foot tall. His name's Mark Naitanui. And his Instagram handle is Blackanui, if anyone wants to go see what he looks like. But yeah, he's like 6 foot, and I think he used to be chubby. He's actually not looking in bad shape. Colin Jasny. Thank you, Rogie. Of course. They are twins. Yeah. They look quite similar as well. Did you see Usman Khawaja's shoe controversy? No. Do tell more. I was unaware of that. I can't really be bothered reading this article about twins. It's mostly just about the Scott twins. That's it. Khawaja had donned shoes carrying the words "freedom is a human right" and "all lives are equal" while at training early this week. Okay. I mean, I presume that's a... display of personal measure, which... Okay. I see what you're saying. How obvious are the shoes? Is the messaging? I mean, first of all, I don't think he's doing anything wrong. Obviously, it's just a case of, like, how reasonably are they applying the rules? Like, I understand why he doesn't, like... Well, they don't want, like, players draping themselves in flags and wearing face paint and shirts and stuff like that. But if it's just messaging on his shoes, I would have thought that's fairly subtle. In which case, not a big deal. I'm going to Google it and see if I can get a picture of it. NFL News, W News, Tony Brown has been traded to Carlton. Safe to say the Gavin Brown breeding program has failed. That's true, they've all been listed or traded. Good point, I did see that actually. To be fair, this Khawaja shoe thing... has he been banned? True Footy is against human rights. That is so me. CEO of Freedom, mate. No, I'm in the UK. I moved to the UK this year. Just for another year or so. He will not wear shoes during the first test, but he will fight the... Okay, ICC's ruling. Video mistakes. So yeah, they've deemed it a political statement, and Khawaja thinks, I don't believe this is so, it's a humanitarian appeal. Freedom is a human right. I mean, the thing is, like, what does wearing the shoes really do? Well, him getting banned for it is arguably the biggest way to get attention for it. Not that he's craving personal attention over that, but now people are talking about it. If he doesn't get banned, people don't really process it in the same way. So him getting banned is arguably the most effective way for that message to spread. Does that make sense? Sorry, I know he's not banned for it. I just kept saying banned for it. His shoes are banned. His shoes are banned. Suspended for 3 games. So I read the word banned and then that was in my head. No, the shoes are banned. Funny to see the BBL try to make these cricketers look like superstars. These little kids have no idea where these blokes are, yeah. True, but like I think when you're a kid, you don't really have that context or that idea of scale of how big some of these guys are yet. So you kind of just look at them and you the messaging is that these guys are a star. And so you probably just start to believe they are. Oh, thank you, Luke Bell. Appreciate it, mate. Thanks for stopping by. Do I remember when David made 335 against Pakistan? I genuinely don't remember that. I genuinely don't remember that. Starting to rain in Melbourne. Oh my God, I swear to God if this game gets rained out, I will write a strongly worded letter. It's not raining, says EKVA. It was raining pre-game, I think. They suggested the covers were on. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's raining at the moment. However, it did look like a bit of rain on the side shot. It's hard to tell, okay? It's not the most clear picture through a VPN. Max says, oh, about 3 centimeters tall and covers 60% of the shoes. Okay, thank you for... Yeah, so obviously it was obvious. Okay. CR podcasters, what are your rough top 4 ladder predictions? I think Collingwood, Brisbane, Carlton, I think will be there. I know it's so easy just to go with the previous 3. Mind you, Carlton technically weren't top 4. I will say Carlton made the top 4. Collingwood and Brisbane should. So it's just a battle for 4th between teams like Melbourne, Port Adelaide, Sydney. You could get some dark horses like the Crows. I don't even think the Crows are going to be quite on that level. I don't look at the Adelaide best 22 yet and think, yeah, it's on par with Melbourne's. However, it's all about, you know, accumulating wins during the season, and if they win a lot at home and they're decent away, like maybe. On quality, it'd be Melbourne or Port, though. With Sydney a decent shout, too. Oh, I didn't even mention GWS. GWS could be there. Pies, Brisbane, Carlton, and Sydney is Rogue Riot's call. Could be Sydney. Missing Mills, and without a really surefire defense there, particularly the Talls. I'm not sure, but I mean they made the grand final in 2022, right? So. Lily says St Kilda's a chance. I think for St Kilda to get there, they'd really need their young, exciting types to really click. Like your Philippus would have to go to a next level. Darcy Wilson. And why I'm picking those guys is because they add something that St Kilda have probably lacked, and that's forward line connection, speed. Now they've got speed coming out the wazoo. It'll be interesting to see if Machito Owens can play a bit more midfield this year. And be effective in it. Oh, God. Showing that replay where Eskenazi got run out for being really lazy. Was that in the final? How embarrassing. To be honest, I have the Saints like 12th. I don't think they're that bad, but rate other clubs better. But not gonna lie, I'm probably underrating them. Yeah, you know what, Rogi, I kind of felt like that internally until I really looked at their best 22, and I think I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of overrating Ross Lyon, but I think it's hard to see them failing too much to that extent under Ross Lyon. The list is pretty mature, and they've got some exciting youth. So I think the potential's there for the 8 again. But if they miss, I wouldn't be shocked. I feel like Grundy's going to go mad next year. Got his number 4 back, and the Swans play Melbourne in the first round. Yeah, that's true. Exciting way to start the season, for sure. That's going to be a good first round. As much as there's been like a bit of anti-AFL sentiment over like the opening round, I think calling it round 0 or whatever, or just not calling it round 1 is kind of dumb. Just call it round 1. But the games themselves will be good. Having round 2 called round 1 is dumb. I don't like it. I have sources that a couple of Bulldogs players will not be the Bulldogs in 2025. Can you tell us who, Lily? I'm going to guess Bailey Smith is one of them. And Jamara's out of contract. Oh, Tim English out of contract. Well fielded there by Stoinis. I don't know how I'd feel about Tim English at West Coast. I suppose that, you know, it's just a case of whether we bother. It's not because he's not good. But I suppose we're going to have salary cap, and it would be a free agency move. And it's not like we have gun rucks. I hate round 0. It's going to make Supercoach Fantasy an absolute mess. Good point, actually, Rogue. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I still have a game day squad. Oh, thick top edge. That's going to go high. That might go for 6. It did. That was definitely top edge. Lucky. That went very high. What the hell? I'm not high on English at the Eagles. I'm not gunning for it, but it wouldn't be the worst thing. I mean, we don't really have a locked-in ruck. Like, assuming they want Bailey to be a ruck forward, then hopefully he succeeds in that role. I really like Bailey Williams, and I want him to succeed at West Coast. What's your biggest trade shock, you reckon? Hard to predict a trade shock, isn't it? I'm sure the Eagles will go hard for Logan McDonald. To be honest, I would be shocked if Logan left Sydney for either WA team. I would consider that a shock. I would hate it if they got Logan McDonald. Freo definitely got the draft picks to make a Logan Mack trade feasible. Yeah. I presume that's the only reason they did that. And do you know what? It does kind of suggest there's some confidence to make it happen. Yeah. Lily says Hugo Hagen to Collingwood. I could see that. I could see Ben King to Collingwood if he doesn't re-sign. Probably not. He probably will re-sign though. Hugo Hagen will have Hawthorn and Collingwood calling for him. Yeah, I can see Hugo Hagen leaving. Unless Lily, are you saying that's what your sources are saying? Hugo Hagen to Collingwood? Because that would be interesting. Oh, thanks, Baz Train. Legend. Thanks for the $1 donation. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps as I try and get through this off-season content. Thank you. Appreciate the support. I'm a Swans fan and I got a gut feeling he's going to leave, but I've heard Swans are going to go, oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Man, now that would be cool. Like if McDonald did leave. Oh, shot. Is that Eskenazi? No, Connolly, of course. I've been so distracted by the chat, I didn't even notice Cooper Connolly opened the batting. I just knew it was Eskenazi. Great shot. Thanks, Brendan. Enjoy tennis, mate. Yeah, so yeah, if McDonald left and then they got Ugle-Hagen to the Swans, that would be cool, I reckon. I don't know why, but Ugle-Hagen at the Swans would be so interesting. Is it going to be an Exodus at the Dogs? Well, there's a chance, yeah. And that would kind of cripple them. You know, if they lost Ugle-Hagen and Bailey Smith and Tim English, imagine that. Surely all three don't happen. Oh, missed time there from Connolly that time. Beats the infield. 17 clubs will be looking at Ugle-Hagen. Yeah, you'd think so. Dogs definitely do have a key position logjam. I agreed with that, but it would still be painful for them if they had to lose Ugle-Hagen and English. Sydney missed out on Norton. That's true. They did offer him a massive contract, as did West Coast. West Coast offered him 10 years, according to the reports. 10 years. I can see why we're not an attractive destination now, but so I can understand why Norton didn't consider that. But hopefully within a year, we can sell somewhat of a future. We're not going to be a finals contender, but hopefully like in a year, you'll be like, okay, in a few years from now, West Coast will be back. That's what we need to try and achieve this year. $2.622 is over. 27 off 2.4, so obviously going hard for the net run rate. Ugle-Hagen has family links in WA. That's true. The Ugle surname tends to be from WA. And Bunbury in particular, I've noticed. I knew several Ugles. Kirk Ugle, who used to be on Collingwood's list. I played cricket not with him. He was the year above me at South Bunbury, so we trained at the same time. There was a Jordan Ugle as well. Not that that's relevant, but there was a few Ugles around. Bond missing out on another premiership is one thing, but missing out on a Brownlow, considering how close he's been, yeah, man. He deserves one. I think he should have won this year. Max Cam's going for Perth. Agreed, mate. Go Perth. I think another under-the-radar trade for next year is Will Hayward to Adelaide Crows. Wow. Probably won't happen, but I think he's got family connections. Yeah, okay. Interesting. I don't know if that's a need for Adelaide. Looking at the forward line. When Bulldogs lost Cooney and Griffin, they won the premiership. Yeah. Yeah, I could see them losing like Smith and English and Jamara and then improving. Football works like that sometimes. Nice shot, Connolly. Picked the gap. Don't think he timed it, but it might get to the rope. Should get to the rope. Will not get to the rope. Fielded. Good fielding. Bit of a slow outfield by the looks. Max Kem's asking who I go for. I am a Perth Scorchers fan in this game and a West Coast Eagles fan. Who do you go for? I presume Perth as well. $27 likes on the chat, guys. Thank you very much. If we could bump that up to 30, just help a man out from the algorithm. Oh, Max is a Dockers fan. There you go. Also, still annoyed Dakes got injured and missed out on a Brownlow. Still won't complain too much, considering what the wearing. Yeah, you just get the sense that Dakes will probably win one anyway, though. It would have been a good result as a second-year player. Would have been crazy. Would have been nuts. Who's your love child? What do you mean by that, Lily? Do you mean like who's my favourite player? It was always Luke Shuey. Joel Paris's hairline has aggressively receded. Good shot there from Connolly. Man, how old is Joel Paris now? I need to look this up. Sometimes cricket can deceive you when you're used to footy because you think someone's a young prospect, but they're actually like 30. He's older than me, so that's alright. Oh, my favourite players. Probably Oscar Allen now that Shuey's retired. Elijah Hewitt's the other one. Noah Long. Oh, top edge there. Should be out. Good catch. Good catch there from that Cartwright. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point, Rogie. You could see him winning. Plenty. Yeah, some pretty elite company in the dual Brownlow conversation. Fife and Goods are the two, and Neil are the three. Judd. Did Ablett win 1 or 2? Yeah, Ablett won 2. Ablett, Judd, Goods, Fife, Neil. Is that everyone? Did I just say everyone? That's all the modern ones, I think. G'day, Zach. Good, mate. How are you? Are you a Stars fan? I can see a Hawthorn profile picture, so I figure you're Victorian. That was a good catch by Cartwright. 1 for 35, so Connolly goes out swinging. I think they're obviously chasing some net run rate. Hardy's in. BBL is exciting. I do wish this was a bit of a... Well, I don't wish this was a closer game because I'm a Perth fan, but... yeah, last year's tournament was pretty good. I've got to say. I'm a little surprised there isn't more hype for it. You know what it is? It's probably the Melbourne Stars being rubbish that is a huge factor. Lockie Neal could have won 3 if not for Cripps. True. Well, he probably was lucky to win this one. But I get your point, yeah. That's adorable car, right? They think that, yeah, I thought the same thing actually when he took that. Maybe he was just happy with his own effort. Was a good catch, to be fair. Zach's a Scorchers fan. There you go. Up the Scorchers. Oh, what happened there? St Kilda have a lot of interstate players. Do they? Wilkie, Philippou. Remember he's Victorian, isn't he? Yeah. Trying to picture their best 22 in my head, but my brain's foggy. Dukes, Cordy, they're Victorian. Sinclair's Victorian, I think. Who's their ruckman? Rowan Marshall. He might be New South Wales. Is Rowan Marshall from New South Wales? Seb Ross, Brad Crouch, Victorian. Jack Steele. Is Jack Steele New South Wales or Victorian? I'm going to presume Victorian. He was a Giants Academy, but I don't know if he was Victorian. Just saying the right player hasn't won the Brownlow the last 3 years. Yeah, good point. I don't really recall who should have won it. Oh my god, should have been run out there. I don't recall who should have won it. So, who won the 2021 Brownlow? My god. Don't tell me, why have I forgotten? Cripps 22, Neil 23, 2021 was... Wines. 21 should have been Bond, 22 should have been Took Miller, 23 Bond. Yeah, fair enough. I agree on 23. I don't really remember 22 and 21 enough. Surely a win from Perth, surely Max. Yeah, I think they're pretty safe, mate. I think we're pretty good at this point. 1 for 36 or 4, is it? Lily says New South Wales. I thought so. Any tips for this season, BBL? Wanganeen Miller, right? That's true that they there's a few South Australians in that team now. As for tips for this season, I think I tipped the Sixers to win it over the Renegades and Scorchers. So far, that's fairly consistent. Like, the Sixers have won their game. The Renegades lost narrowly to the Sixers. I had them second. That makes sense. The Scorchers, Renegades, we don't know. So, like, it's a bit early. I think the Brisbane Heat might be better than I had suggested, but then again, they'll lose a few players, I think. I only really remember because I was annoyed both years. Yeah, fair enough. Lily's calling Wanganeen Miller for the Brownlow. He'd have to be a midfielder, that's the only thing. Wines has been an underwhelming Brownlow medalist. Yeah, he was good in 21, but since then he hasn't really played like one. That's true. TK Kelt says, but Steve Smith won't play. That's true, but I think they're 11. I think it's only Steve Smith they're going to lose from the Test series, right? I don't think... I think their 11's going to stay pretty stable. And that's kind of true of Perth too. Assuming Mitch Marsh won't be around. But other than that, that was a good shot by Eskenazi. I'm chowing through the water. I am a hydrated man. I reckon I go through like 10 of these a day. Been pissing like a racehorse. Smith to Pies after ACL. That'd be an interesting call, CEO. I don't know if the Pies would need to go for Bailey Smith. Like, surely they'd pull their resources at some key position players, because as good as they are, it is a weakness. Like, they need to add a key forward for sure. I'm not going to the Pakistan Test, TK. No, I'm in England. Do you reckon John Newcombe can win a Brownlow in the next 5 years? Yeah, I think he can. Like, he's very young. What has he played? 50 games? I think the trend is that these days those contested inside mids are generally the ones that are contenders for the Brownlow. Goulden probably the exception to that, but like, let's profile winners like Neil in and under as hell, Tom Mitchell, particularly at the time, Fife, who else has won the Brownlow? Wines, and so Newcombe does fit that profile. John Newcombe, I reckon, will get close. Ooh, failed ramp shot. But reckon other players will just pinch it off him. Tom Green, yes. Goulden, yes. But hey, anything can happen. Yeah. It's hard to predict. Newcombe seems to be pretty consistent. But yeah, there does seem to be better players, but that doesn't always matter. Like, you could easily say, like, Ollie Wines probably won't win one because there's Clayton Oliver, there's Bond, there's Petrarca. And none of them have won a Brownlow. That being said, Goulden has proven that he polls well, as has Dacos. Daisy as Eagles coach is a good get. I'm happy with that, yeah. I think Daisy Pearce is clearly very intelligent about football. I think her coaching is cool. How did Josh beat Nick in Best and Fairest? I mean, other than having a really good year, if it's anything like West Coast best and fairest, it is heavily favoured towards those who play every game. Yeah. So if you miss a handful of games, yeah, no bueno. Old brother stigmas. Older brother stigmas are real. Stick my foot in your ass. That's a great joke I used to say at work. Maybe that's why HR was so concerned with me. Dawson into the attack. Oh, good delivery. Josh getting one. Ooh, my voice broke then. Josh getting one before Nick gets the next 10. Probably. Don't they vote for best and fairest? I'm not across every team's best and fairest, but I think it's like votes per game. So I don't know if West Coast changed theirs, but it used to be like out of 25. But there wasn't like a finite number of votes that could be polled. So like, it wasn't like the best player got 25 or whatever. It was like the best player could get 17. And everyone's kind of rated out of 25. I don't know exactly. But you imagine, like, if you miss 2 games, then you could fall behind by 50 votes. That's how West Coast works, so I'd imagine the other clubs just have a variation of that. Good shot by Hardy. Smacked through mid-wicket. No, I don't think it's like the Brownlow. I mean, again, other clubs could be different, but I don't think any club goes 3-2-1 like the Brownlow. I think it represents more players. Because if you're just a consistently good player who's consistently the 8th best player on the field for Collingwood in a given season, you deserve to finish 8th in the best and fairest. But if it was 3-2-1, you'd be 8th consistently, but you wouldn't get a single vote that year. Oh, there you go, Rogies. Yeah, so the 25 votes thing is possibly more universal than just West Coast. I'm not too sure. Oh, good reverse sweep, but well fielded. Single. 153 off 6 overs. 49 off 84 needed. Oh. Nearly had a couple of run-outs in this game. If West Coast finished second last, not last, and did not get Harley Reid, would they sack Simpson? No, I don't think those two things are related. Especially if it meant that we'd beaten Adelaide in the last round. The last 5 weeks for West Coast were pretty good, other than the Derby. The Derby was horrendous, but the other 4 games were pretty good. I'm trying to remember who they were for a start. You eliminate Fremantle there, but we beat the Bulldogs, we nearly beat Essendon, we beat North Melbourne, and we challenged Adelaide. And the scoreline was unflattering at the end, but it was a decent game from us. So in that last month, other than the Derby, which was just ridiculous, there was a turnaround from the middle of the year where it was just horrendous every game. 5 members of the coaching panel, each awarding up to 22 votes per game. There is no minimum. No minimum. There you go. Interesting. Probably a good way to do it, to be honest. It's not going to be perfect, but at least, like I said, it represents that consistently 8th best player in the team every week. And, opens it up for role players, like medium defenders who do a great lockdown job. Never going to get top 3 votes. Oh, up to 22 votes per for the whole game. Not 22 votes. Not each player out of 22. Okay, that's interesting. No one cared about the Derby because of the Matildas. Was that on at the same time, was it? I don't even remember. I was in Canada watching that Derby, and I got up at like 6 a.m. and I had a very boisterous 6-year-old niece sitting on my lap trying to get my attention. And I was trying to like concentrate on us getting slapped by 100 points. It was such a weird feeling. Oh, mishit there. Per game. Okay, there you go, Rogie. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Still a little bit confusing, but arguably certainly a better way than 3-2-1. Decent shot by Hardy. Not great though. To be fair, I reckon there was another reason no one cared. How dare you? Yeah, that was terrible. It was on the big screen at Optus. Ah, true. Yeah. What was the game? It was before an Eagles game. They had the penalty shootout that we won. Was it France? It's amazing how much I've forgotten. Maybe that was against Adelaide. That happened. I don't know. Looks at their ladder position at the time. Yeah. There wasn't even pain associated with that derby. It wasn't just like, oh no, we lost to Fremantle by 100 points. I was just like baffled. I was just like, what the hell? It was so pathetic. So pathetic. And we actually like were winning the first quarter. And arguably on top. Dominating play, not dominating on the scoreboard. And then we're just like, yeah, that'll do us. I might crack a can of cool drink at quarter time and just relax for the rest of the match. I don't know why I've just become an Australian bogan baby boomer. I also just like saying kill drink. 1 for 59. They've tightened the scoring a little bit. Lots of mishits going for singles. It was Oz-France. Oz-France. There you go. Oh, top edge over the infield. Nope, caught. 25. Runner ball 25 for Eskenazi. Well, at least it's not a duck. Like last game. So a bit of a, dare I say it, fight back from the Stars. No, they just kind of choked the scoring a little bit and then taken a second wicket. So we're not timing the ball well, our batsmen. Rogie, that is so true. Like the comments, like I was getting on videos, were just like that of sympathy. That it was just like fascinating. It was more fascinating than anything else. Yeah, like it's just like I can't believe this is happening. What the hell? Thanks, Zach. You too, mate. Enjoy. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, there wasn't too much banter going around about West Coast. It was just like, God, what the hell has happened? It was almost historic. Hopefully, I'm honestly just hoping it's like one of those things where in 12 months I'll laugh at it and be like, man, remember how bad we were? I hope so. Nah, we'll be back. It's probably not anytime really soon. Inglis is in to complain that the pitch is too difficult. I should have let them play, you cowards. Is Nathan Lyon going to play the first test? I don't know the answer to that. I would have assumed we'd pick at least one spinning option, but maybe not. It'd be kind of weird to leave Nathan Lyon out. Weather's okay, mate, believe it or not. I was saying before, I checked the days of rain for each month, and December only rains a little bit more than August here. August was torrential. Well, not torrential, but it rained every day, and that's summer for us. It rained every day, I reckon. But your expectations are lower in December. Like in August, I was like, I hope there's a nice sunny day soon, and it never really came. In December, it's like, it's overcast, but there's actually been some really sunny days here. I'd actually argue I've seen more sunny days in December. It was a really cold period last week where for like 10 days in a row, it was like the max was 2 and the net minus was probably, sorry, the minimum was -3. That was chilly. Your face really stings when you walk into the gym in -3, far out. It's like a 10-minute walk. Having said that though, now we're at like 8 or 6 degrees right now, and I'm like, 6 degrees is chill, bro. Like, I'm good with that. It's funny how you adjust. The daylight hours sucks way more. Like, sun comes up at 8. Like, the sun was... It's 10:30 now. It was still pitch black outside when I started this stream. Oh. Okay. How long did you guys just not have sound? I'm sorry. Oh. So, did anyone hear me ranting about the weather and the daylight hours? Because I was off on a tangent there. Rogi, you joke about West Coast being in 17th and me saying that, but if we're 17th next year and we haven't lost by 171 points, oh my god, another wicket. And if we haven't lost by 171 points, we will be able to say that. Oh, Rogi heard me the entire time. Okay. That's good. I was worried that I'd stepped on the mic cable. Because sometimes it'll just pop out. The mic cable. But yeah, so the daylight like going down at like 3:30. The other day it was 2:30, and I had no lights on in the house, and I couldn't see a thing. It's ridiculous. So Hardy's out. It's 3 for 66. I'm not concerned that we're going to lose, obviously, but it's kind of just like an annoying disruption to the game. It's a little flurry of wickets here for the Stars. Hopefully all it will do will serve to just mean everyone's batting average isn't as good as they'd hoped. But it's all about how many... He's back in the weather again. I was asked a question, Rogi. Ashton Turner in. That's good. Honestly, I would let these guys face 5 to 10 balls each rather than try and keep hitting it. Like, net run rate's not that important. Don't risk the game. $35 off 68. Samamia in the attack. 1 for 11. Oh, top ball. Yeah, just says how's the weather. It's good, mate. As long as it's not raining. I am actually going to look at the forecast for London because I am going down to London in a couple of days. I think it's going to be okay. London's always a little bit warmer. Here I am talking about the weather again. But yeah, if anyone's interested, London's always like 2 degrees warmer than up north. Why are England horrible at one-day cricket? That's a good question. I don't know. I presume it's probably partially due to less domestic focus on it. I mean, that's also kind of true of us, and yet we just won the World Cup. So it's probably just a bad patch. I mean, England did win the last World Cup too. Nah, this is the weather stream now. Alright, let's have a look at what London's doing on Friday. No rain. It's going to be 13 degrees on Monday. That's about as good as it gets at the moment. That's shorts weather. I'm actually not even joking. That is legitimately shorts weather for me. If it was 13 degrees in Perth, you would never catch me in shorts outside. Is cricket England's #1 summer sport? That's a good question. I don't know about the summer sports. What is another popular summer sport in England? It's not hugely popular here. I remember watching the ICC. I remember watching the 2019 World Cup final in London. I was at a big beer garden and they had the Wimbledon final at the same time, I think. 2 big screens. And England's playing in this and it was like the final overs, so it was really tense. And I couldn't just help but notice like everyone around me that was English was groaning and cheering at the wrong times. And I was like, is anyone actually watching this game? I looked around, they're more interested in Federer's tennis game than England in the World Cup final, which I thought was odd. So it's really not that popular here. It is still somewhat popular, but it's very class divided sport here, as opposed to Australia. It's a bit more like where you live as to what sport you're gonna like usually. If you live in WA, you're probably gonna like footy, for instance, and generally everyone likes cricket generally because it's the summer sport. If you like rugby over AFL in Australia, in Perth, you're pretty much destined to end up on drugs. No, I'm deliberately being provocative there, but it would always be that kind of weird kid that liked rugby, whereas that does not exist in England. Like it's a more of an upper class sport, rugby, a bit more of a rich kid thing. Okay, well, loose shot from Inglis. Might get to the boundary. Yeah, it does. I feel like England cricket is more of an upper class sport compared to Australia. Yeah, absolutely. Have you gone into any nightclubs in England? Yeah, I do. Oh, great call. Tennis, of course, Lily. Yeah, there's no nightclub in the town that I live. So if I want a night out here properly, we have like a bar that I go to. It's a bit of a dance floor. As long as it's got a dance floor, it counts. But not really a club. Manchester's just down like 20 minutes on the train. The only problem with that is it's cheap-ish to get into on the train, like $20. I'll keep it in Australian dollars, about $20. But to get home, because the last train's at like 11, if I stay up till like 2 and I get a taxi, it's going to cost me $100 in a taxi to get home. So that's the only downside. But I have generally gone out in Manchester, a little bit in London. Where else have I been in the UK, clubbing wise? I think that's kind of it. Union is definitely upper class, league less so. Fair point, Rogie, yeah. Good point. There was thing going around England team. There was less black people playing cricket, so I didn't really understand what you mean by that. But now I think about it, they don't really have too many black cricketers in the team, do they? It's not really a sport that they play that much. I mean, Jofra Archer I don't know, like, exactly how Jofra Archer got into playing for England. I presume he lived there. But he's like West Indian, right? Because he represented the West Indies. I think. I'm pretty sure. Not mixing that up, am I? That's the black cricketers. Chris Jordan. I feel like there was some like in like 2001, like one or two black cricketers for the English team. Vav. Oh my god, what's his name? Michael Vart. No, Michael Vartan is a Sri Lankan guy. Who? Oh, Carberry is who I'm thinking of. Michael Carberry. Michael Vartan. What a weird, random Sri Lankan obscure cricketer to have confused that with. The pair says, "What is your best dance move?" G'day, the pair. Yes, it is Hutto, as well, as an aside. My best dance move. Probably... We call it the warm welcome. It's a random British quote that says, cricket is a gentleman's game for thugs, rugby is a thug's game for gentlemen. That's very true, actually. I often found that cricket, banter, and culture is worse than football, having played both at junior level. Cricketers were always the biggest flogs. And I was one of them. They say it was catered to private school. Yeah, there you go. I see what you mean, yeah. Corin doesn't buy it. I mean, when I say the cricketers were flogs, maybe they're not thugs. They weren't tough guys, but they certainly were wankers. At least in the circles I played it. And I sort of bought into that as a kid. I don't think I was that bad, though, to be fair. Jofra Archer isn't even English. Yeah, I just presume he lived in England, but I just don't know how long for. Rakeem Cornwall should not be a professional cricketer. I don't even know who that is, to be honest. Rakeem Cornwall. I'm going to Google it. Is that a drop catch? Stars showing a little bit of life here. Pretty decent bowling performance. Rakeem Cornwall. He plays for the West Indies. Oh my god. Yeah, I know this guy. Yeah. Big guy. To say the least. Ooh, it's dumping shout. Gonna review it. There's a chance there. The warm welcome. No, I can't demonstrate. I don't have any towels put down. Rakeem to the PBL. Is he any good, this Rakeem guy? I feel like I've seen him before. Melbourne Stars just been a little bit annoying here. Dragging this game out. I say that and watch us collapse and lose. No quick singles with him, that's true. Oh, that's hard to tell. His foot could be in the air, but I think he's alright. Yeah, I'd field Rakeem in the outfield. He is definitely a slips fielder. Polyester or cotton. Oh god. Anything that's not absorbent. Ew. Sama Mia has bowled well, 1 for 13 off 2.3. Oh, we might just have to try and get here with singles and go 6 or 7 and over and just keep it simple. I'm not fearful that we're going to lose, but I kind of just don't want us to just get unnecessarily under pressure. Jesse prefers Lycra. That I do. Rakeem at deep square leg, yeah. Oh, a Yorker there from Mia. Good delivery. What about the droid attack on the hookies? Oh, I came up with a really good quote yesterday. I can't remember if it was Star Wars or Harry Potter. Whatever it was, I remember it being really intense. It'll come to me. Fuck, what was it? I remember thinking, I'm going to whip that out on somebody, and they're going to be like, what the hell? If you could pick play from each country, which country cricket team, who would you want? I don't know. Maybe Kane Williamson. Ben Stokes, dare I say it. Virat, obviously. Babar Azam for Pakistan. I'm actually a little bit lost on who's Bangladesh's best player these days. It was always been Shakib, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know if that's true anymore. You reckon the Stars should move from the MCG? Yeah, I think the weather could be a factor here, but also the fact that the Stars suck. But it is kind of weird having BBL games that are massive MCG. I suppose there's some MCG football games that don't do well either. But this crowd has to be way less than an AFL game. Reckon the Stars should move from the BBL. It's funny how they look like the powerhouse when it started. Yeah, in that they've never been any good. They got the talent to some extent. Obviously, you add Brooks into this team, it looks a little bit better. Bowling attack's pretty sweet. Who is West Indies' best player? I don't know the answer to that. Who's their wicket keeper? Is it? It's like Shea something. Is it Shea Hope? I'll be embarrassed if I have. I'll probably cooked that. It is Shea Hope. Is he not there anymore? I feel like he hit a century the other day. I might be mixing him up with someone. 6. Turner. Beautiful. I feel like he hit 100 against England. Yeah, he did. He's not in the test team, that's all. But I don't know who their best player is, to be honest. Do you reckon there's any players that can match Tempa Bavuma for being cheeked up? What does cheeked up mean? As in he's got big cheeks? Oh, good shot. Bavuma is funny, like, looking at how small he is. I think he's 5'3" or 5'4". 5'3" or 5'4". But watching, like, the South African fast bowlers walk past him, it's just like, what the hell? How are you playing the same sport? Which South African player would I steal? Who is their best player? I feel like they're a bit more even. Bro's got a fatty. I see. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have an opinion. Brett Lee was pretty cheeked up. He was pretty cheeked up. This is a weird topic, but fuck it. These live streams do get pretty loose. But I think that's where you could generate a lot of his power from, according to Kevin Spacey. Let me know if you know that reference. I don't know how well known that is. It might be one of those things everyone knows. I kind of heard it through the grapevine. Marco Jansen, there you go. Thank you, Jacob. I knew he was good. I just wasn't sure who their best player is, but he's a good player. Oh, Turner's such a weapon. He should be in the Australian ODI team, to be honest. I say that without following his form at all. But he just looks like a Michael Bevan type. It's just like never flustered. Was Glenn McGrath cheeked up? I really don't know how long I want to keep talking about their butt cheeks, but I don't remember that. I suppose it makes sense if you're a fast bowler to need that like core strength, because they're generally not big guys. Like I was thinking about this. Not that I'm a beast or anything like that, but if I was like a professional cricketer, I think I'd almost have to stop lifting weights the way I do, because they're all really quite slim. Let me Google Pat Cummins. I'm trying to see if I'm like the same size as him. Not talking about his cheeks. Yeah. I'm. This is not a brag. I don't know. I sound like a wanker saying like this, but if I'm comfortably bigger than Pat Cummins, so it'd be weird to be a cricketer, and I'd have to like stop going to the gym, or at least training a different way anyway. Do you ever watch Brett Lee bowling to Pierce Morgan? I did see that. Yeah, that was funny. Gillespie had more nose than cheek. Yeah, it's very true. Oh, speaking of cheeks, Brett Lee's now being... Was there a limo for the launch of the BBL? That is so weird. Yeah, that BBL final was against us. Was that the first ball of the innings he got someone out, I think? And he took 2 wickets in the last over. But I think we won that one still, didn't we? What do they need? 5 or 42? Oh, I just realised how close this was to being over. Four or 40. Yeah, so from a net run rate point of view, we did alright. What's our run rate? Probably about 7. A bit more. 7.5. Oh! Reverse sweep from Inglis. Just beats the infield. Ah, that's a good point, Rogie. Yeah, Quaynor is a thick boy. I was on Kentucky with a couple of girls who were Collingwood fans. And when they were talking about who was hot. And I mentioned, yeah, like Quaynor could be a male model. And they were like, nah, I'm scared of his huge ass. I was like, what the fuck? Girls get like icks over the weirdest thing. Does Big Bash have Indigenous round? I don't think so. But that being said, there are Indigenous kits. I think. Yeah, no, there definitely is. Maybe they do have Indigenous round, yeah. I don't know if it's called that as such, but they... Mind you, I'm looking at the Scorchers kit now. Is there any Indigenous artwork on that? I don't think so, actually. They do, yeah, they do have Indigenous jumpers. Oh, that was the game, I just realised. There we go. So the Scorchers victorious, as we expected. So far, no unexpected results really in the Big Bash, other than the pitch conditions. Well, thanks, that was another banging game. True. Mason Wood could be a model. Could he? Mason Wood. I've never thought he was... Never thought of him, unless this is a joke. Oh, yeah. I never really noticed he was handsome before. I don't know why I'm into this. I promise it's innocent. I mean, he's no Jack Steele, but he's good. Lipinski was described by Bob Murphy as being blinding at how handsome he is. He's true. Bob Murphy's kind of a weird guy, though. He's just diction and vocabulary is quite weird. But yeah, I remember my female friend was a Doggies fan, and she loved Pat Lipinski. Yeah. G'day, Bontempelli 4. Big Bash's First Nation rounds returns this summer. There you go. It returned last year. Fair enough. First Nations round. Fair enough. Cool. Alright, guys. Well, we might park that there. I'm not going to be able to do any of the tests because I'm away this weekend. In terms of streaming, but I'll stream a random BBL game here and there when I'm back. Other than that, I think I got 2 videos a day coming out for the next few days, so you'll see my big stupid face. But thank you for being here. It's always been fun. The streams are obviously a little bit quiet, but I always have fun with you guys. So it's been good fun, and I will see you. I'll have a quick look at the fixture, see what's the next realistic one that I could do. I did hear about his ACL, by the way, Bont. Yeah, not good. No, Rogi, you're dead right about that. Ginnivan, no. But girls kind of dig vibe more than the looks half the time. Lee says, will you do a New Year's Eve live stream? That's a good question. I don't know what I'm going to be doing for New Year's. It's entirely possible. I was thinking doing a livey or a podcast or something like that. Maybe one for Christmas, one for New Year's. I don't know. Do it. Master Skywalker. I'm sure we'll be watching your career with great interest. My sister has a photo of Nick Dacos in her closet. My God. How old is she? Hope she's not like 30. Alright, so the next couple of fixtures. So this is the last BBL game until after the test. So Tuesday the 19th of December. That kind of lines up with when I'll be back. Maybe dare I say, will I do another Scorchers one? Depends. Break of Big Bash for test, yeah. I wouldn't mind doing a test stream. Like for a session. I'm not going to do the whole day, my God. I'm not on Cardman or UCAT's level. They could probably do that. Yeah, I might park it there, guys. But thank you very much. I'm going to go work on some videos. Maybe get a bit of food. I'm a little El Hungro, as they say. But thank you very much for taking part. And I will see you in the next stream. Adios. Wait, I just saw Rogue Riot's comment. You want to return your other test? We have Track Watcher that does that for the buys. I don't know who that is. But I will see you guys. Enjoy.